everybody. Welcome to Wine Time. It is Friday. It is Yappy Hour. It is Memorial Day weekend. Yay! Wow, this is our eighth episode, and we're here every week just to kind of showcase and highlight a different dog rescue organization, and also just to tell you a little bit about who we are and what we do and why we do what we do. I am Melanie. This is Bronny and Vinny, my little love bugs here, and we're Nectar of the Dogs Wine. Nectar of the Dogs Wine was founded in 2015, and it was inspired by the love of our four-legged angels and our passion for wine. All the dogs that you'll see on the label actually were our dogs. There are 9 total, and you'll see 4 here in a second. But, we created this wine company to honor their memory and to celebrate the fun times we had with them when they were in our lives. And we also give back to dog rescue organization. So for every bottle that we sell, a portion of the proceeds goes back to organizations such as Bark Party, Chiquita's Friends, All American Dachshund Rescue, to name a few. And this is, let's look at a couple of dogs here, 4 dogs. As I mentioned, there were 9. These were the 4 that belonged to my husband and I. This is Connie and Clyde and Floyd and Mika, who have passed on to the Rainbow Bridge. So if you want to learn a little bit more about them and also the wine, check us out, nectarofthedogswine.com. And, as I just mentioned, to date we've donated over $7,000 to various dog rescue organizations. So we featured 7 so far. Out of those 7, some of them we have long-standing relationships with, as I mentioned, like All American Dachshund Rescue, Bark Party, Chiquita's Friends. But then we also had some new ones like Love at First Mutt and Live Love Animal Rescue. And then we're going to be talking to a new organization here in just a few minutes. But we had a message from Christine at Bark Party, so let's see what she wanted to tell us.
Hey everybody, it's Christine from Bark Party. How are you? I wanted to say thank you so much to Nectar of the Dogs for your wonderful donation. It's awesome the way you guys are supporting rescue, and we really, really appreciate it. And I wanted to introduce you also to Bo Cat. This is Bo. Say hi, Bo. You want to say hi? He's such a sweetie, and he is up for adoption. Get back, kitty. He's a little fatty. He's a super sweet, funny guy, and he really needs a home. So if you're interested in a kitty like Bo, who just is a love bug, please contact us at info@barkparty.org. And again, thank you. Keep drinking wine, and we'll see you soon.
We love that. We love Christine and Bark Party. And, yes, we are Nectar of the Dogs Wine, and we do focus on dog rescue, but we're equal opportunity animal lovers. So if anybody's interested in that fat little kitty, reach out to Christine at Bark Party and see what it's all about. So here at Nectar of the Dogs Wine, we like to say it's not really drinking alone if your dog is with you. Here's Vinny. I totally just woke him up out of his nap, but he wanted to say hello. Oh, look, Bronny actually woke up too, and he's just all sitting there with his paws crossed. That's awesome, drinking with your dog, right? But sometimes you want to have a conversation with somebody who can do something more than bark. And in light of the COVID-19 that we've all been dealing with for the past, 8 weeks, 9 weeks or whatever, we really haven't been able to do that a lot besides, virtual happy hours, Zoom rooms, and all that kind of stuff. But let's take a look and see what Monica's got going on over in Northridge. Hi, Monica. Happy Friday.
Hey,
cheers.
Friday. Cheers. So I know we're talking about our Rosé and Melback today, and I just want to share a couple of things that I learned about Malbec. I'm sure you're aware, but for anyone else out there, so Malbec is actually, a full-bodied red wine with a dark fruit flavors and like a smoky finish. So you don't typically see that, in a light, delicate rosé like this, but I love it. It's so good. This is one of my favorites. And if you didn't know, Malbec actually originated in France, but because of its poor resistance to weather and pests, it never really took off. But, then Argentina came in and said, no, hold on. We're going to plant some Malbec grapes. And they did, and now they produce 75% of Malbec grapes.
So educational. What a fun, fantastic fact there, Monica. Yeah,
and
I did know.
Just to give you a little bit of perspective too. So Argentina produces about 76,000 acres of Malbec grapes, whereas here in the United States, about 3,400 acres.
Wow. Do you know how many in California? Is it majority in California?
Not California specifically. It's just country, broken down by country.
Hmm. Yeah, we actually, everything we do here at Nectar of the Dogs Wine is a limited edition varietal. We work with small producing wineries in the Central Coast and the Central Valley. And so we first actually, we bottled a Malbec. I think it was our third one. And I remember when we were, right? And we were tasting, and and my friends know, I'm not really the red wine connoisseur of our group. I really do tend to stick more to the whites and the rosés. But when I like a red, then you guys are like, well, if Mel likes it, then that's the one we should bottle.
Gotta be
So
good, yeah.
I remember when we did the Malbec, and it just didn't have that big bitey bold, which totally fine. That's just not my favorite profile. But I remember tasting it and thinking like, wow, this is really special. So when we came across the rosé and Malbec, even more special. I think you were part of that tasting party. And once we tasted this, it was like, all right, we need to bottle this, and we're almost sold out of it. So if anybody out there wants to try this or wants to buy this, buy it, because we don't have much left. So we do sell it for $26 a bottle. If you go to the website, we're doing special 30% case discounts. You can get a single varietal case, or you can get a mixed case. If you see something on there, or if you want something on there that you don't see, like a 6-pack or something, reach out to me and Monica, and we can try to get you what you want. I'm just doing discounts, in light of all the COVID-19 stuff. So here we have Bronny, and it looks like he's really enjoying the aromas of the spring blossoms and fruit.
He wants you to open that up. Yeah.
He does want. So if you click shop now, you can buy the wine, or you can go to the website and get yours today. Now, as I mentioned, we work with small producing wineries in the Central Coast and the Central Valley of California. So this particular wine actually comes from Lucas and Llewellyn, and there's Megan McGrath Gates there, and she's the winemaker. She's just super to work with. I'll reach out to her and say, hey, Megan, I'm looking for this, or I'd like to blend that. And she's just, I love working with her. She's like, here, try this, try that. And then we blend and we bottle and we bring to you the Nectar of the Dogs wine, that we like. So I always say that wine is best enjoyed with friends and family, with your dogs, all of that. Now, as I mentioned, the last few weeks, we have spoken to, 7 different organizations. Some we're familiar with, some that we're just meeting for the first time, including the organization we're going to speak with today. This is Delaney's Dog. We're going to be speaking here in just a moment. But Delaney's Dog is a volunteer-run, all-breed dog rescue serving the Los Angeles and surrounding Southern California communities. They are dedicated to rescuing and rehoming dogs in danger, whether it be from the city and county shelters or from the streets. They assist dogs without regard to age, breed, or ease of placement. I love their logo. I think it's so cool. So I'd like to bring on Maureen Delaney, who, according to this, is the founder, CEO, president, and top dog. Maureen, how are you? Welcome to Wine Time. Cheers.
Hi, Melanie. How are you? Doing well.
Really good, really good. So as I just, I just read your kind of mission statement there from your website, and I love your logo. It seems to have that like Irish influence. So tell us a little bit about who you are and what a Delaney's Dog is all about. What was your inspiration to start this?
Well, I'm Maureen Delaney. I have been a dog lover my entire life, since a little girl, a heartbroken little girl when my family had to give away our German Shepherd at I'd say I was about 6 or 7 years old. So I was really upset because I had an awful curmudgeon neighbor who didn't want the dog around. So they made my family get rid of the dog. And
bummer story.
It was pretty crushing. So my whole entire life, I've been rescuing animals. I find little birds on the street that are hurt, or even bringing possums to the house, and my family wasn't real thrilled about that part. But it just evolved into an actual whole organization of rescuing dogs and finding the right homes for them.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, a little earlier we were speaking, and you said that you are an anthropology. Did I get that right?
I'm an anthropologist. I
have
a degree in anthropology and communications from USC.
So you probably still have a full-time kind of gig, and then this is your love, passion, right?
Yes. I own a dog walking business. So that is my profit business. This is my not profit business that I spend most of my time working on. So most of my time I work for free. Yes, but
I
it's worth it for the dog.
Absolutely. I can totally relate. I work a full time corporate job, but this is my passion and my love. And I'm right there with you doing what, you love to do because it's your passion, right? Some of the organizations we've spoken to in the last few weeks, one thing that we've been learning out of the horrible COVID-19 pandemic we're all living in is that the good thing is all the shelters are being cleared, whether it's foster or adoption. Are you finding that with your organization as well?
Yes, absolutely. It's always been harder to find fosters or homes for big dogs. And although the pandemic is a horrible thing to have happened, it was kind of a blessing for a lot of nonprofit dog rescues, because all of a sudden people are home for months and wanting to foster dogs that I couldn't find fosters for forever before. So there's been a lot of foster offers and even a lot more adoptions of dogs that we've had for quite a while that finally got adopted to great homes.
That's great. Do you have a brick and mortar type of facility, or you're more? Tell us how that works for you.
No, we don't have a brick and mortar facility. We just have foster homes. We're all volunteer based, and we have foster homes throughout the LA area to foster the dogs, and that helps them get used to being in a home and assimilate better to better get them, adopted into a home.
hmm And if somebody's fostering, then they always have the option to adopt, right? And or right? Is that how that kind of goes too?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. They do have, when you foster a dog, the dog is available to the public. It is listed and posted to the public and available. But if the foster expresses, interest in really wanting the dog and is very has a good chemistry with the dog, of course, absolutely, I will let the foster adopt the dog
Oh,
first.
very very cool. And so how many like animals do you actually have in your facility right now?
In the entire organization right now, we only have about 27 dogs.
And is it all dogs, or do you have cats too?
No cats, all
All
dogs. But I
dogs.
do have volunteers that do help, like the community feral cats and things like that.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'm like you said, they're all on your website, but we have four that we're going to feature here today. So let's take a look at the first two. This beautiful German Shepherd and this lovely little Chihuahua mix. Tell us about Gotti and Benny.
Gotti is a 4-year-old. Actually, he's a Belgian Malinois mix. He probably has a little shepherd in there, and maybe something else very dominant. He's a big dog. He's probably about 80 or 90 pounds.
Wow.
He's a very strong dog. He's not for the weak-willed. He will take over your life if you are too weak. He's super intelligent. He's super motivated by work. He's a great working dog. He would be best with perhaps maybe a retired law enforcement person, or maybe even someone in law enforcement now, or search and rescue, something where he can do work, because he excels when he does work. He's happy when he does work, and he's not your typical like family pet. So he really needs a very experienced person and the right environment for him. He's a great dog.
And you were saying, so he came from the shelter, and it's just so amazing. I know you and I were talking off camera a little while ago, and you were saying that's just really inherent to this breed. I mean, he hasn't been trained per se. It's inherent in his breed, right?
Yes, Belgian Malinois is typically a working dog breed, period. It's not typically a good pet, family pet. They just, they kind of go a little they go a lot crazy if they're not getting the mental and physical stimulation that they need. They need actual work to be happy.
Right. That's interesting, but that's, beautiful dog. And I hope that he finds the right home with the right person, lots of space to run and expend that energy. So what about Benny? Oh my God, he's so cute. A senior.
He's adorable and he's spunky. He thinks he's gaudy, actually, but what do you expect from a Chihuahua?
Of course, of course.
He thinks he's the tough guy in town. He's adorable. He's great with dogs and cats. He's just he came from a home. Actually, the lady lost her home, and she used to just rescue from the neighborhood. They knew she was a dog lover, so they would always drop dogs in her yard and like leave them there, and she'd always take them in and get them all fixed up. And and try to find rescues for them. But then she lost her home and she had to give up the 4 that she had left, and Benny was one of them. And we took all 4 and found 3 great homes, but Benny is still left. Sometimes the older ones take a little longer.
That's okay. That just means he's, waiting for the right home, the right person. Bronny and Vinny, my dogs here, we've had them for 10, 11 years now. They're 11 and 13. And, I know senior dogs get overlooked sometimes, but they're so wonderful. They're just so mellow. And so I'm a big proponent for senior dog rescue, and I hope that Benny finds something soon. Now, these next two, oh my goodness. So we actually did have a husky mix, as you saw a moment ago on our label, Mika. But let's look at Olivia and Coco, these two just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Tell us about these two.
Olivia is a diva. Olivia is a Siberian Husky. She's got a mind of her own. She came from Orange County Shelter, and she actually had a big wound in her stomach. It looked like she had been kind of impaled, actually.
Oh.
And we got her surgery to do exploratory, see what was wrong. So whatever had punctured her, I'm not sure if that's what did it or what, but all of her intestines had been shoved under her bladder. So she wasn't able to eat anything, or wasn't able to express her bladder, do anything with that. And she sat in the shelter for 2 weeks like that and got so emaciated, skinny, that I'm surprised she even made it out of the shelter.
Wow.
But she's, a lot of the times when they're starved like that, or they come from really bad beginnings, they usually tend to be resource guarders and not always great with other animals or children, especially.
Right.
So that's why I have no other dogs or kids. She can be good with them, but she's a little too picky, so I just don't trust her.
It's okay. She's beautiful. I'm sure she'll also find the right home and the right family. Oh, just beautiful. And little Coco.
Oh my God, little Coco. She is the most adorable, sweetest, loving. Like, this dog is the best dog in the world. Anybody would be so thrilled to have this dog. But people just kind of pass her by because she's incontinent. I'm not sure if it's because she was rescued from the shelter after she had been hit by a car. We took her to have surgery, of which one was a spay because she had pyometra, and had a major infection going on in there. So we had her spayed and we fixed the pelvic fracture, but she was incontinent. So I'm not sure if the incontinence is due to the being hit by a car, or if she is always like that her entire life. But she's still like that. But it's so easy to take care of. People can't see past that. She's such an amazing dog. She's the happiest dog to see you. She sees you and she's like jumping all over the place, like, I need to see you, pet me. And she's wonderful.
She's going to find the right one too. I know, dogs, like people, I mean, we all have our issues, and some issues are better than others, but it's special. And so I really, I hope and I pray that they all find their forever homes very soon. So, this next slide here, very, very cool. And I think I'm going to order one of these shirts. Again, I mentioned earlier that I really love your label, with that kind of Celtic. So do you have other swag on your website too, or is it just these shirts?
Not yet. I need to get it up on the website. I have some new goodies coming in, hoodies and hats and some shirts that are going to be embroidered really nicely. But for now, I still have some of these items left and some tank tops left with the same logo.
Okay, cool. Well, it is getting hot outside, so I'll have to go to your website and find one that fits and order one there. So here you tell us, how can we get a hold of you here? Looks like we can find you on Facebook at Delaney's Dog, and then Instagram, Delaney's Dog Rescue. And what's the other stuff there?
The other stuff is by email. You can contact me by email, or it's best actually to text, with dogs barking in my ear and running all over the place all day, every day. I don't hear phones ring, so I don't even bother with the phone at all.
Okay.
If you text me, I'll look down, I'll see it, I'll answer, and then I'll just keep going with my day. So that's best. Text is best, and email is great, or the website. You can contact us through there too.
And I'm guessing that on your Instagram and probably your Facebook and your website, you have the dogs that are available for adoption, or you probably update the dogs that have been adopted and all that good stuff, right?
On the website, yes. On the website, but on the Instagram and on Facebook, you kind of have more real time, like, oh, we just rescued this one, or this one's for adoption or whatever. So it's more of an interactive thing. But the actual adoptable dogs are on Pet Finder, which is connected to the website.
Okay. And, I'm going to just probably assume, like a lot of the other organizations, how we can help you is by donations, obviously, fostering, adopting. Anything else specific that we can do to help, or is that kind of sum it up there?
Well, we always can use fosters, volunteers, donations, of supplies or monetary is always helpful for the dogs. We're always in need, and the dogs always destroy everything. So there's always a need to have more replenishment.
Right.
But that's about the basics: volunteering, adopting, donating, and yeah.
Okay, so all that information we can find just as the places we just mentioned. And, Maureen, I just want to say, I want to thank you. Like, I thank all my guests every week. We here at Nectar of the Dogs Wine, I mean, we're creating great wine, easy drinking wine for lots of people to enjoy so that they can buy the wine, so that we can give back to rescue organizations like you. But it's people like you and the people that we met over the last 8 weeks who are really out on the front line, giving a voice to these dogs and cats and animals. And so I just want to thank you for all the hard work that you do. It's amazing. And, God bless you for that. I also want to say, absolutely. I also want to say that what we are going to do for the wine and candle sales throughout the month of May, they're going to benefit not only Delaney's dog, but the other rescues that we featured over the course of the month. So people can go, they can actually click shop now, or actually wait till this is over, or you can go directly to the website nectarofthedogswine.com. You can stay up to date on all Nectar of the Dogs Wine by following us on Instagram at Nectar of the Dogs Wine. And if you are an organization, or if you have a friend who owns an organization and you'd like to join us here on Wine Time, email Monica or myself, either at Melanie or Monica at nectarofthedogswine.com, and we can get you slotted. We have guests, I believe, all the way up until the middle of June. When we started this, we weren't sure how long we were going to be on, but we're going, and we're just going to keep sharing rescue organizations as long as we can. So as I mentioned, wine and candle sales throughout the month of May are going to benefit Delaney's dog. Now, we can only ship wine in the states of California and Nevada. However, the candles, we can ship these anywhere in the U.S., and these are candles made from our recycled wine bottles. So we have two sizes. We have the large, which is 140 burn hours. We have the small, which is 110 burn hours. These are 100% soy, clean burning candles, various scents. This one is crackling firewood. This one is sweet peach, and they smell amazing. I think Monica can attest to that. She's got a few of those candles on her own, wouldn't you say, Monica?
I would say, but I don't have the sweet peach. Where was that hiding?
It's right here on my table. So let me know. Monica, we have changed up our virtual private wine tastings. Oh, my dog. Can you see Vinny? He's like totally on his back here. Tell us he just looks, yeah. What's new with the virtual private wine tastings?
Yes, well, of course, with all the restrictions that we're all going through now, our events have been either canceled or postponed, which is a big bummer because that's really how we get our wines out there to people. But we do have an alternative for you. We have our virtual private wine tastings. All we ask is that you purchase a minimum of 4 bottles of wine. There's our list of everything that we have right now. We have 5 different varietals. Pick your 4 at the minimum, buy a case, buy 6, whatever makes sense for you. Reach out to us, schedule a date and a time for us to join you either on Zoom, Skype, Facebook, whatever works best for you. We can come through, walk you through all of the varietals that you've purchased, tell you all about them, tell you all about us and our mission, and of course, raise money for these dog rescues that do all this wonderful work for us.
It is a win-win for all. When you drink with us, you're drinking for a great cause. I mean, we're all going to drink anyway.
Very true.
Very true. Well, something we've also the last few weeks, we've been doing some educational food pairing videos that your wonderful husband and son have put together for us. So what's this week? And tell us, what's the connection? What's going on with that?
Well, since we were featuring our Rosé of Malbec, Malbec typically, typically it's a red wine. This is obviously a rosé, but similar profiles. So you'll see that Malbec typically pairs really well with a number of different vegetables, including potatoes. But you really want to look for spices that have that earthy, smoky flavor, something like a parsley or a black pepper, or shallot and smoked paprika, which are a couple of herbs and spices that you can find in this recipe for potato salad.
Well, Todd, let's take a look at this recipe for potato salad.
Mayonnaise is a key ingredient in potato salad, and lots of it. It's 100 calories per tablespoon. Greek yogurt has 90 calories per cup. So,
Alexa, how much tablespoons are in a cup?
1 cup is 16 tablespoons.
16.
a cup of this healthier mayonnaise is 1,600 calories. But you can use Greek yogurt to cut the mayo, but still keep that unmistakable mayonnaise flavor. And that's what we're going to do for this recipe. You'll need 3 pounds or 4 russet potatoes, peeled first. This is the Kuhn Recon Original Swiss peeler. Then cut the potatoes into eighths. A 1/4 cup of kosher salt, 1 shallot halved and then thinly sliced, 5 green onions chopped, mostly the green parts, 2 tablespoons of chives chopped. There are 3 mild onions in this recipe. 1 tablespoon of fresh minced dill, 1 to 2 cups of celery diced, a half a pickle diced, and 3 large hard-boiled eggs chopped. Put the yolks aside. Put the potatoes in a large stock pot with enough water to cover the top, and then add the salt and bring them to a low boil. It should take about 15 minutes, but your times may vary. Cooking. When a fork does this, they're done. Any more, and they're mashed. Drain them and let them get to room temperature. Then put everything in a large bowl and prep the dressing. You'll need 1.5 cups of mayonnaise or the Greek yogurt cut mayo, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of pickle juice, 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, 1 teaspoon kosher salt, a half a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper, and a tablespoon of smoked paprika. Now put the yolks in a bowl and mash them up. Then add the mustard and mix them together. My grandmother's trick, deviled eggs. Nice work, Grandma. Add the yogurt cut mayo, vinegar, pickle juice, salt, pepper, smoked paprika, and my grandmother's deviled egg yolks and whisk it together. Reserve a 1/4 cup of dressing if you're not eating it now. Pour the dressing over the salad and mix it well, but try not to break up your potatoes. You don't want them mashed. Chill the salad for 2 to 3 hours in the fridge, then add the reserved dressing and adjust with salt and pepper. This is actual audio of me tasting it right here. This dish pairs perfectly with the rosé of Malbec from Nectar of the Dog's wine. And it's not drinking alone if your dog is with you. And if you make this just for your family, you'll have leftovers for days.
What are you eating?
Potato
What are you eating?
salad.
What are you eating?
Potato salad.
What are you eating?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can prep this with a pan-seared sous vide pork chop. But you do you.
Well, it looks like you had potato salad all week. Hopefully you had rosé and Malbec with that all week too.
We did, yeah. We roséed the week away.
Looks delicious, just in time for Memorial Day. So before we wrap up here, I know you make fun of Todd for reading the paper in the morning, but he was reading the paper this morning. And he came across this, and it kind of spoke to me, so I just wanted to share it. A dog reflects the family life. Whoever saw a frisky dog in a gloomy family, or a sad dog in a happy one? Snarling people have snarling dogs. Dangerous people have dangerous ones. And their passing moods may reflect the passing moods of others. So this was a quote by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who we might know was the creator of Sherlock Holmes. But, that really just inspired me to create my own little quote here, and that's what I want to just share with everybody here. Love life, love your dog, drink wine, and be happy. Because, what else is there in life, really? Next week, we're going to be joined by Carolyn Hines and Stephanie Coleman from Guide Dogs of America. Now, I know that Guide Dogs of America is not a dog rescue, but there's a really cool story of why we partnered with them a couple years ago when we released our very exclusive, very limited edition Cab Franc. which we don't even have anymore, just for a couple of wine club members. I was trying to get the boys up before we closed here. But yeah, we're going to have them on next week, so make sure to tune in. And I just wanted to thank Monica again for joining me. And Maureen, it was so wonderful to meet you.
Very wonderful to meet you both, too.
Yeah. Thanks,
Absolutely.
Maureen.
Cheers, cheers. Have a wonderful Memorial Day, everybody. Stay safe, drink lots of wine, have fun with your dogs. Cheers, and may dogs continue to bless your life. See you next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See ya.